It started with a question that sounded simple but grew into one of the most whispered stories in modern royal history. Why were Harry and Meghan's children missing from almost every formal royal record? Not just photos, not just ceremonies, but the actual archives. The monarchy is known for its obsession with documentation, yet two little names, Archie and Lilibet, were noticeably absent. The more people looked, the stranger it got. Royal births are not casual events. They are meticulously recorded pieces of history stored across generations. Every royal baby is listed in the court circular, registered in official ledgers, photographed, documented, and preserved as part of an unbroken lineage. But this time, something was different. Something was missing. When analysts went to verify Archie and Lilibet's place in the official royal system, nothing appeared. No baptism records, no formal birth entries in the usual archives. Not even acknowledgments in the long-running family registers. And that absence was louder than any public statement. Because in the monarchy, if it isn't documented, it doesn't officially exist. Usually, privacy means limited appearances, fewer photographs, controlled narratives. But it never means total absence. Princess Anne's children had minimal publicity, yet they were still clearly logged into royal history. Even the Wessex children, barely seen in public, had all their formal records properly filed. So, why were Harry and Meghan's children left in the dark? The palace never explained. But insiders said the silence wasn't accidental, it was deliberate. Royal historians noticed that the omissions coincided with a series of unusual decisions Meghan and Harry made during their children's births. Unprecedented decisions. Protocols weren't just bent, they were ignored entirely. For example, during Archie's birth, Meghan and Harry misled the press, releasing two conflicting announcements, one claiming she had gone into labor, and another, less than an hour later, confirming Archie had already been born hours earlier. For royal watchers, that wasn't just confusing, it was suspicious. Then came the birth certificate change. Meghan famously altered the original document, removing her full name and replacing it with her title, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Titles instead of her name, a symbolic shift that raised eyebrows everywhere. Why would a mother's name be replaced with a title? Royal historians said changes like that don't happen unless there is internal conflict or disagreement. It was treated as a warning sign, a quiet signal that something unusual was happening behind palace walls. Birth records form the foundation of royal legitimacy. Without them, royal identity becomes questionable. But that was just the beginning. When Lilibet was born, things got even stranger. No royal doctor attended her birth, no palace staff documented anything, no formal announcements were made by Buckingham Palace. Her birth was treated like a Hollywood story rather than a royal one, announced through a press release from California. The monarchy's reaction? Complete silence. No filing in the royal birth records, no mention in the court circular, no baptism records in the Church of England. Royal tradition states that for a child to be formally recognized as royal, three things must be proven. Legitimate royal birth, official documentation recognized by the palace, and a baptism overseen or at least acknowledged by the Church of England. According to multiple reports, Archie and Lilibet were baptized privately in America without official church records, royal chaplains, or documented recognition. Outside the Church of England, outside royal protocol. In the monarchy, missing these steps doesn't just break tradition, it breaks legitimacy. The palace didn't issue any criticism, no statements, no denials. Instead, it simply did what it always does, protect tradition. And in doing so, it quietly withheld recognition from the Sussex children. Even official royal portraits, which normally include every living descendant in the line of succession, never included Harry's children. William's children were always present, appearing in group photos, historical portraits, official family visuals. But Archie and Lilibet? Nowhere. Not even as silhouettes in the background. That silence became louder with every passing year. Behind the scenes, insiders say Harry was desperate. Reports claim he made multiple phone calls to palace officials, not to beg for titles, but to ask for something much simpler, formal recognition of his children's existence within the royal system. Inclusion, documentation, legitimacy. But phone calls weren't enough. Tradition is not bent by emotion, especially when the subject is lineage. For Meghan, the situation was more than just frustrating. It was personal. Her public identity rested on her role as a royal mother, someone who had married into the world's most documented institution and was raising children connected to both British royalty and American celebrity culture. But when the palace quietly withheld formal acknowledgement, it wasn't just her children who were left in limbo. It was her image, her narrative, her status. Every interview, every documentary, every photo brought new questions. Why were Harry and Meghan showing their children publicly, yet the monarchy didn't officially recognize them? Why were bits of their private stories shared in Netflix specials and best-selling books, yet their names were still missing from the records that truly mattered? The contradiction became impossible to ignore. And as the contradictions grew, so did the rumors. Surrogacy theories, secrecy claims, suggestions that something about the births wasn't what it seemed. None of these began as mass rumors. They began as quiet questions from experts who noticed anomalies in paperwork, omitted rituals, and inconsistencies in timing. The more the Sussexes tried to dismiss them, the louder they got. The monarchy didn't comment. It didn't accuse. It didn't deny. It simply withheld recognition. And when the monarchy stays silent, people speak louder. Gossip doesn't need evidence. It grows in the absence of it. The public saw a modern love story colliding with an ancient system, one side driven by media, the other by tradition. And somewhere in between, two children caught in a battle between privacy and protocol. This wasn't just about titles. It wasn't about popularity. It was about legitimacy. Being royal isn't just about blood, it's about documentation. A child can be born into a royal family and still not be recognized by the monarchy if the proper rituals and registrations are bypassed. In the royal world, recognition isn't automatic. It's earned through protocol. And protocol isn't flexible, not even for the most famous couple on the planet. Years later, nothing has officially changed. Archie and Lilibet are celebrated in public but remain unacknowledged in the one place it matters most, the formal royal archives. No full baptism records, no official inclusion, no documentation of their rightful place in the royal lineage. And that has left a trail of unanswered questions. Was this the palace's quiet punishment for Harry and Meghan stepping outside the system? Or was it simply tradition maintaining itself, without exception, without emotion, without modern negotiation? Did Meghan and Harry overestimate their ability to change royal rules, or did the monarchy underestimate the impact of global media, narrative control, and celebrity influence? The palace will never answer those questions publicly. That's not how it works. Its silence is its language. Its traditions are its statements. The monarchy doesn't argue, it archives. And in those archives, the absence of two names tells a story more powerful than any interview or memoir ever could. Because in a world where history is carefully documented, what isn't recorded is sometimes the biggest story of all.